My name is Tim Bria here with Digital Health, live at the Digital Health Summer Summit, San Francisco. We just had an awesome panel about killer partnerships, MC10, which is your company, and Reebok. So I'm here with Isaiah Kacyvenski, Director of Sports Segment MC10, otherwise known as the Kaz.
Yes, exactly. It's my nickname, also known as the Prophet, too.
So if you guys are Seahawks fans, first tell us your background.
Yeah, so I was a Harvard undergrad, then out of Harvard was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks, played 8 years in the NFL, was one of the captains of our Super Bowl team in 2005 season, and we unfortunately lost in that Super Bowl. But and then after retiring, went to Harvard Business School, got my MBA, and now an entrepreneur with MC10, and it's really been an amazing ride. I wanted to align my passion for sports, fitness, and my knowledge, really tapping into that knowledge to be able to kind of innovate into the future. And I saw MC10 as an amazing platform to be able to do that.
So I'm wearing the product right now, and it's keeping me warm, which is nice because it's been a long day. And so you met this company when it was early stage. It was still like scratches on the back of a napkin. What was that? What happened?
Yeah, it was so our scientific co-founder is John Rogers. He's one of the top 10 material scientists in the world. He's an amazing person, and really had this vision of flexible electronics as a platform. And there's a lot of different use cases for this.
I saw Jurvetson from Draper Fisher Jurvetson wearing the thing, and it was like, whoa, that's from the future.
So that's kind of the future of where we're going. We've developed the biostamp, which we coin it internally, and being able to use that as a platform that we're going to unveil to the world very shortly. Being able to do that, yeah, we're realizing that vision as we speak, right? We've done a really good job at really focusing on the changing in developing the design rules for electronics. That it's a different set of rules, right? It's not those conventional design rules that everybody's been playing by, and really honing that and understanding the process side of the equation, the technology development, hardening that technology and making our electronics durable, which is a key part of our process, has been what we've really over the last 3-4 years focused in on, as well as being able to launch product with large partners like a Reebok.
So we just had Paul from Reebok here, and I am wearing the device here. So what do you call this, and what does it do?
So that's the Reebok Check Light, and it measures force of impact. And we didn't tie the electronics. It's got an accelerometer and a gyroscope, measure linear acceleration in 3 different planes. Gyroscope measure rotational acceleration, and it bins that. It bins that in a series of lights where it's a very complex process that the algorithm takes into account. But in the end, it's an output of light. So red for severe impact, yellow for a moderate impact. And it's actionable, right? And that was key to being able to do that and filter that down. And in the end, you can get really technical on how we developed it, but in the end, is it made it easy. And taking a step back is when you make it easy and you make it actionable, you can change behavior. And when you change behavior across sports, you're able to, for this use case, make sports safer, right? You're able to we've seen like all the different rounds of field testing is even the product in the field. You see this change of behavior where people realize they don't want the light to trigger. You want to keep your head impact.
The athletes stick people differently. They do a different angle, or totally different style play.
So they practice safe technique, right? So the coach is teaching safe technique, keep your head out of impact, whatever. It's not just football, right? It's across sports, safe technique, period. And this is a way to keep the athlete accountable. Like, listen, has to carry over from practice to a game to, you have to practice it day in and day out. And some of the amazing pieces we found, which is you almost stumbled upon, but, is really a sign of a great technology, is if you can change behavior some way and show data behind that, and you're able to see the impact change over a season from, say if it was we've seen a 12-week season, over, 75% of the impacts occur during the first 5 weeks. The rest, 25% of the impacts over the last half of the season. You see that's behavior modification. That's amazing, and that's across sports. We're not
people are all aggressive, and then the season pans out, and then they get really competitive.
No, this is the beauty. Still aggressive, but the moment of truth strikes, right? Where there's impact, they're remembering and practicing keeping head out of impact. Because in the end, it's almost like a slap in the hand. You don't want that light to trigger. It's a very real-time feedback mechanism that the athletes understand, I don't want the light to trigger. I don't want the light to trigger. Not that it's a diagnostic tool, but you get that real-time feedback. Like, I don't want the light to trigger. You're right. We don't want any of that.
So when I saw your the bandage, the electronic bandage, my mind just started racing because it's such a different paradigm with current electronics. How do you stay focused, and where are you guys taking this?
Yeah, so as we've taken our electronics, embedded it into a skull cap with Reebok here, and that's kind of the Gen 1 of our technology, and novel packaging of electronics has won over 5 different international awards for the packaging of those electronics. The electronic sticker, electronic biostamp, we call it internally, is really, I see that as a way to, again, collect data, and in the same ways, in a lot of the same ways we developed the Reebok Check Light is collect data, package it in a way where you can, it's actionable and meaningful to the end user, change behavior in some way, and develop that platform as being able to interact, collect data in the background. Where we really feel like the core of MC10 is all about innovating on form factor, where you put something on and forget about it. You don't have to put up with a device. You don't have to put up, exactly. You don't have to put up with it. And right now, people are putting up with devices. And I want to take that out of the equation, be able to collect data in the background, and you start to see how this isn't just a sports and fitness piece. This is revolution in a lot of different ways, which is why we have the verticals we do. We have a consumer electronics space, we have a healthcare space, and we have a medical device space where there are really thousands and thousands of use cases. We can do it all. We are very disciplined at being able to be targeted on the strongest use case with the strongest business case, right? And it's that old analogy of being able to walk down the hill and do it all. But I want MC10's electronics to be ubiquitous.
So the Digital Summit, CES, is a huge platform to reach the world, to have a good ask. What are you guys looking for as an emerging growth company for help, for connections, for partnerships, for promotion?
That's a really good question. I think we're continuing to keep this momentum going with large brands like a Reebok, understanding how we can help them define innovation. However that brand thinks about their consumer, because they know their consumer the best, right? Exactly. Yeah, and we're all about being able to help them deliver of what their consumer wants, and they know the consumer best, right? And that can mean something wildly different across the brands, right? And it's not just sports and fitness; it's across the world. Being able to understand that and work in a collaborative effort like this, and we're gonna launch another product this year, another products next year.
It's coming up.
Yeah, no, and we're excited. We're able to. The world's gonna slowly start to see how, if you can put electronics anywhere, there's a whole mountain of use cases that become unlocked, where you don't have to tie anything to a wrist. You don't have to tie it to a strap. You can put electronics anywhere. What would you do?
I've got a pretty long longboard. We'll try to do some of that. Yeah, no, it's cool. So, well, people are obviously going to want to link up with you and MC10. What's the best route?
Yeah, you can go on www.mc10inc.com. We've got ways to do that. You can email me. My email is isaiah@mc10inc.com, or my Twitter handle is Isaiah Kaz. And you can reach out to us. You can find us. We're pretty visible. But yeah, we have an amazing. As you can imagine, we have ideas pouring in every single day on different use cases. Oh, I think it'd be great if you could do this. It'd be great if you could do this. You could do this. And it really is amazing. We have regular whiteboard sessions as like an innovation factory, which we are, as regular whiteboard sessions for our team internally. And it's amazing to see how we have a very flat organization where every idea is heard, and every idea will hold water if it can hold water, and it's supported by this strong business case. And anywhere from the intern to from the CEO, everything's heard. It's an amazing company. It's amazing to be part of that.
It's awesome deals. So Isaiah, I love your passion. You guys have a rocking team. Look forward to your bright future, and taking some behavioral changes so people walk away from the field with their head intact.
No, I'm with you, and it all comes down to right. If you look at technology, you can't develop technology for technology's sake. It has to do something. It has to change behavior some way in the end, or it's just going to die, right?
All right. Well, this is Tim Ria reporting with the cap here today with Reebok and MC10. The check light. Cool. I do have one last question. How do I check the light if it's back here?
That's actually a really, really good question. So through all the rounds of field testing across sports, like football, ice hockey, lacrosse, boxing, rugby, soccer, basketball, everything, almost 90% of the time, 90 to 95% of the time, it's the fellow athletes on the field that tap them on the shoulder and they're like, "Hey, you're light triggered. You got to go to something." And it takes that burden of starting that conversation away from that athlete themselves. It's an objective data piece that starts it, where that pride issue is just gone, and it starts the conversation, gives them the opportunity to symptom report.
All right, nice job.
Awesome.
Good work.
Thanks, appreciate it.
See you guys. Thanks so much for being on the show.